Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome along to the GCU Student Funding and Scholarship Information webinar. My name is Andrea and I'm one of the Student Funding Advisors here at GCU, so hopefully I'll be able to answer all your questions today in relation to student funding and scholarships. So what we will discuss today is the support that we offer, funds that are available, how to apply, contact us, and we'll go through any other questions. So here at the funding team, we offer practical guidance with pre-entry funding applications, advice on support available to meet the cost of tuition fees. We also do assessment for the payment of discretionary and higher education childcare funds that we receive from the Scottish Government. I'll go through a little bit more detail. We're going to just kick off with a quick poll, if that's all right, and if you would select where you are joining us from today, that would be amazing. So I'll give that a little minute or so, and if you'd be able to let us know where you're joining us from. If you're an international student, if you're a student from Scotland, or England, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland or Wales, or from a European country. And this will give us a better idea of where we're going to focus the webinar on today. I can see a couple of people answering so far. Thank you for that. Great. So we've got a good mix of all students coming from different areas, which is great. Thank you so much. So we're just going to go through some of the slides here. So being a student can cost more money than what you may expect when you take into consideration your books, your equipment, your travel, your housing, which is rent or your digs, bills and food, clothes and socialising. Obviously on top of that you have your tuition fees, whether they are funded or not funded. And the student funding team here we're here to help you effectively with advice and information. So we've calculated roughly the average monthly costs for a student who's moving to Glasgow and staying here. So you can see that for a single student, sometimes average monthly expenses can be around about £1,260. If it's a family of four, obviously that cost will increase quite significantly. And if there is childcare costs on top of that, that can be quite expensive. So it's just good to have an idea of what to expect when you're in Glasgow, costs and things like that are associated with being here. But as I say, we've got some really good links on how to save money when you are here in Glasgow, and we've got a financial wellbeing advisor who's also here, who you can make appointments with when you've started here at GCU. On our website, there is lots of information on the average living costs here and how to manage your money. That's probably a key issue that we see for a lot of students. How to budget, how to manage your money so that you're not stressing out about finances once you're here and once you are a student. So what we'll do is we'll put these links in the chat functionality so that you do have links where you can go. Try to highlight there. So I'll put that at the end, and I will take any questions and answers. We'll provide a Q&A session at the end. So funding, students can apply for the following funds if you're eligible. Now, discretionary funds for living and study costs, childcare funds for if you have any children and they're in registered childcare, nursing and paramedic discretionary fund, and we also do have scholarships, and we administer US federal aid or US federal loans for American students here. To be eligible for the student support for the discretionary funds and childcare funds, you must have been awarded the maximum funds you can get from SAS, which is the Students Award Agency Scotland, or if you're coming from the UK or Ireland, Northern Ireland, you would have had to apply to Student Finance England, Wales, Student Finance Northern Ireland, or SUSI if you are an Irish student. International and EU fee-paying students are not eligible for these funds. How do you apply for these funds? Now, this is when teaching commences. So if you find that what you've got coming in every month as your income and what you've got going out isn't quite matching for the discretionary, that's when you can apply, for discretionary funds, and the university can help you with living costs and study costs. And you would apply for that through your student portal, which you will have access to once you've registered for your course. The funding team, we're here all year round, and you can email us on funding@gcu.ac.uk. You can also make individual appointments with myself, my colleagues Michaela and Amy, which can be booked online. And there is always a funding advisor here in the university, and we're based at the George Moore building, which you'll get to know the buildings once you join us. Chris is our financial wellbeing advisor, and he can go through elements of managing your money and how to budget, both for home students coming from the EU, the UK, and international students. We do have resources there as well that can be really, really useful for you. So how to fund your your studies, your tuition fees. So for Scottish students, you would apply to SAS. That can cover your undergraduate course and postgraduate. So you can certainly have a look on the SAS website. English, or students coming from England, would look at Student Finance England. Northern Irish students, again, would be Student Finance Northern Ireland. Irish students would be SUSI, SUSI. And international students, EU students, to get your tuition fee money, effectively you're going to look at educational loans from your home country, or family support, or scholarships. That could be GCU, it could be external, and we also give tuition fee discounts for students coming from certain countries. Now, I won't go into too much detail on the SAS, how much students can get, but applications are opened, and they open every year around about the 1st of April. If you are a home student, Scottish student domiciled, and you're applying to SAS and you're undergraduate, you must apply every year of your studies. Okay, so this is a really important thing to note, that you need to have your funding in place, so you need to apply every year. And I'll just go through some of these slides. Again, for home students, when it comes to postgraduate studies, there is a SAS postgraduate loan that all students can apply for if you've not received funding for a postgraduate before from the government. If you're an undergraduate and you look to go to postgraduate, we give a 30% tuition fee discount, which is our loyalty discount. And that is for all students that perhaps go from undergraduate to postgraduate, or if you do an undergraduate and then you want to potentially do another undergraduate, you can, if you've studied with us and graduated, you can get a 30% loyalty discount. And again, home students, if you're taking out a SAS postgraduate loan, remember deduct your 30% loyalty discount before you apply for that amount for your tuition fees, which currently is up to £7,000. The loyalty discount is not available for PhD or DBA courses or any postgraduate research programmes. It's only for undergraduate, if you're doing another undergraduate and you've already graduated with us, or if you're doing a master's or postgraduate top course. So we do have a wide range of scholarships for tuition fees and discounts that can help cover the cost towards the tuition fees and also the 30% loyalty discount. And I'll put the scholarship website on there. There is a range of scholarships for undergraduate and postgraduate. For the international students that have joined us today, most of the big scholarships have closed. Okay, they have closed and we're currently working on getting results out at the moment. Okay, so we're hoping within the next week we should have results to the Postgraduate Ambassador Scholarship. The results are out for that. The GREAT Scholarship, the results will be out later on tomorrow. And any other school-related scholarships, those results will be out within or by the end of next week. So we are working hard on that just now. For home students and students coming from the rest of UK, there is scholarships that are opened a little bit later for you guys, predominantly because there is no visa process within that, so we can keep the scholarships that are for UK Scottish students opened a little bit longer. So they are mostly for undergraduate. There are some for postgraduate courses. And once we hear about new scholarships, we do keep updating our scholarship web pages. So we would advise you just to keep an eye on the scholarship pages, because if we find out about a new scholarship, then we do promote that there. And if anybody has any email inquiries, you can email them to scholarships@gcu.ac.uk. You can also telephone us on 0141 331 8770. And again, we're based up at the Campus Life Lounge in the George Moore building here in Glasgow. So summary and questions. So the main point that we always say to students is ensure you have your funding in place before you start your course. Okay, this is really important. Starting a university course it's a big move. It's a big challenge. International students coming to a new country, getting used to things. Home students leaving possibly school, college, coming to university. It's good to make sure that the money side of things is in place before you come, and then you know that all that side of things is sorted, so you don't have to stress out about that. We will go to the Q&A shortly, and in the chat function I will put up a few links that's going to be really beneficial for you. So please, if you do have any questions, certainly put them in the question and answer, and we will respond back to you. Okay. And once again, thank you very much for joining us today. I will move on to the questions and answers. So just having a look through some of the chat. Good afternoon to everybody. The tuition fee deposit is £6,000, and that would be on offer letters. That will give you the deadline of when deposits need to be paid by. We have a question here about the Chevening Scholarship. Yes, if you get selected for the Chevening, GCU do contribute the 20% discount if you are awarded and selected by the Chevening Secretariat to be a successful candidate. That is part and parcel of the award. Eric, we do have budgets for London that's also on the website. Okay, so we will be able to get a link to that for you. London is more expensive than Glasgow, so we can put that up there. In regards to CAS, I know the CAS team, they're currently preparing CAS data checks and prioritising pre-CAS interviews currently for September 2025. So I know the CAS team will be in touch with you. It should be hopefully soon in regards to the CAS data checks. All right. Regarding the postgraduate ambassador scholarship, there was a question in there. We had the record high number of applications this year, 336, and was 4 awards. We go through every single application and read every single application. But if you've got any comments or questions, we don't give individual feedback due to the number of applications that we have received and the turnaround time where we need to get all these shortlisted and then off to a panel. But I can assure you all applications are read by the members of the team here, and then that goes on to a shortlisting phase. If you've got any questions though, please feel free to email scholarships@gcu.ac.uk. Mohammed, you had asked if there was any other scholarships for international students except postgraduate. Yes, there is. Undergraduate students, they all get £2,500 tuition fee reduction, a tuition fee discount off every year of studies. It doesn't matter what country that you're from. If you're an international fee payer and you're having to pay international fees, then yes, you do get a scholarship, which is automatically allocated by your admissions team. And Edith, to apply for scholarships, all our scholarships are on our scholarships website, which I will put in the chat functionality for you. As I said, for September entry, we are now at the point where most of them are closed because we are going to be moving on to allocating all the scholarships and then for students to get CAS and start visa applications and things like that. And if you weren't awarded the postgraduate ambassador scholarship, of course you're still allowed to apply for any other scholarships or funding that you may find and you may be eligible for. That's no problem at all. What I would say is when you're applying for scholarships, you can always apply for multiple scholarships. You don't need to just stick to the one and then wait to hear back. We would always encourage everybody to apply for anything that they meet the criteria for. Okay. And can Irish students apply for SAS? Yes, you can. For undergraduate, SAS will fund £9,535, but it is, I believe, a tuition fee loan. But if you have a look on the SAS website, then that will give you certainly more information on that. Nimra, scholarships that are available for self-funded students from Pakistan. We do have scholarships specific for students that are coming from, bear with me a second, that are coming from certain countries. So if you just Hold on a second. We have the new to GCU postgraduate scholarship. That's for students coming from India, Nigeria and Pakistan. That can be up to a £4,000 tuition fee discount. That's automatically applied by the admissions team. Okay, so they will certainly have that on your offer. And asylum scholarships for asylum seekers, we have a very limited scholarship for asylum seekers. Now, to effectively meet the criteria for that, you must be coming from a school within the Glasgow area or college and be only doing an undergraduate programme. As I say, we do have high numbers of applications at this time and for very limited awards. So it does only cover students coming from Glasgow or the Greater Glasgow area that are coming from school or college leavers. And again, on the scholarships website, you will be able to find information on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the chat the link for postgraduate scholarships and also the link for undergraduate scholarships. And we'll also put some links in our funding and finance pages all about managing your money. If you can access your portal, please, if it's your applicant portal, then just if you contact the admissions team, they'll certainly be able to help you with that if you've forgot your password. I don't have much visibility of the applicant portal, so if you do have any issues, then yeah, please just get in touch with the admissions team. And Dorcas, yes, if you got a full scholarship from your government, for instance, and you had paid the deposit potentially, yes, will be refunded back to the original card or payment method that it was made from. And Peter, you don't effectively need to create a portal. So there's two parts to the portal. There is the applicant portal, and once you register and you become a student with us here in Glasgow or London, that converts to your student portal. And the student portal is where you'll be able to see everything that's related to your academic studies on your student portal, where you would be able to find out tuition fees and set up payment plans and things like that, and see everything to do with about results or teaching from your student portal. Dorcas, that I'm not 100% sure when the refund, I think it may take a few weeks, but it really depends on your individual circumstances. The finance team would certainly be able to help with that. And what I'll do is so the funding team don't deal with anything really to do with tuition fees. We deal with scholarships and the discretionary funds. The finance team will deal with anything to do with payments, refunds and payment plans. And Enola, if you want to postpone your admissions, if you need to, then again, you would just email admissions@gcu.ac.uk. And if you're having to defer your application, you can certainly do that. So I'd like to thank you all today for all your questions. I hope I've been able to provide all the answers that you are looking for. And again, in the chat, I'm just going to pop in the scholarships email address and also the funding email address. If you've got any questions or you want to reach out to us, then please feel free to do so. Here's one for funding. Okay, once again, thank you very much to everybody that has joined today. And we look forward to welcoming you to GCU, and take care. The webinar will close in a couple of minutes if we don't have any final questions. Oh, Jennifer, just seen you popping in there. Unfortunately, the childcare fund only opens when teaching starts. So if you're looking for any advice, Jennifer, please contact the funding team and we'll be able to talk you through how the process works and discuss more in detail. So just email in funding@gcu.ac.uk and we'll certainly be able to go through that with you. Sorry, Sheila, I don't quite know what you mean there. If you're not able to meet up with the international recruitment leader, I'm not 100% sure what you mean there. Dorcas, again, I'm not aware. I don't know what happens about the financial documents. Again, that's an admissions stroke CAS question.